Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA episode 440. I am Brendan. UFC 309, Jones versus Miocic. We're going to talk about that fight. We're going to talk about all the fights on this card, break them all down, go through them round by round, talk about probably what a waste of time this would be if you didn't already watch this. So before we get into the fights, hit the subscribe button if you like this kind of thing. That way you know the next video is coming out. I'd super appreciate it. And if you find yourself liking the video, hit the like button. All right. Before we get in, normally I get right into the fights, but I just want to say I had one big takeaway from this outside of the normal good, bad. By the way, real quick, if you have not watched this already and you're just looking for whatever and you're like, oh, maybe I should go watch it, it's not worth your time. If you eventually want to go back and watch this and waste 3 hours of your life, then go for it. If you did not pay for this already, I would not waste your money if I were you, and go watch this now. Like, it is not worth your time. There were exciting moments in the Chandler Oliveira fight, and then, oh my goodness. And the Ruffy Llontop, like, we're talking about like moments inside of these fights. There was so much downtime. I felt like every one of them went to a decision, even though obviously the main event did not. It was just dull. The prelims are more your speed. Go watch some of the prelims. Some of them are really good. A lot of finishes, but not just the finishes. The fights themselves were interesting. They had more. It seemed like they wanted to be there more than some of the fighters on the main card. So I just want to say that. Okay, Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic, right? How did you guys feel about this fight going into it? Let me know in the comments down below. Were you excited? Did you think, oh, this is pointless? Were you looking forward to Jon Jones getting another win? Were you hoping Stipe got the win? Like, let me know what you guys thought. I'm going to tell you what I thought from the second this fight was announced. This is a waste of time. It shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. I love Stipe Miocic, but he does not, like, there's no reason for him to fight for the title right now, right? If he wanted to come back, he didn't look like he wanted to be in there. I wrote that in my notes later on, but it just didn't even look like he wanted to be there. Jon Jones took this fight because he knew it was winnable. Stipe Miocic just coming off the couch after like two and a half years or whatever it was. It is an ungodly amount of time, and like his last fight was a loss back in 2021. 3 years. Sorry, 3 years. 3.5 years. So like, it felt like he didn't even want to be there. If you had told me, right here, let me propose this to you. And then you guys let me know what you guys think. If this was not announced months ago, right? If this wasn't announced months ago, and then last week or 2 weeks ago, they're like, hey, we have a short notice thing. Let's say the main event of this big card, because this isn't Madison Square Garden, it's a big card for the year. If a fight had fallen out, especially like the headliner, if they said, hey, we got a new fight for you, Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic, would that feel more appropriate than what actually happened, which was the months long build up to this, knowing ahead of time, with Tom Aspinall being the essential, like the actual heavyweight champion right now? Because for me, that's what it felt like. Because if you had come to me 2 weeks ago and been like, hey, we had Stipe Miocic stepping up on short notice to fight Jon Jones. They're basically saving this card. They needed a headliner. This is what we got. I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. I wouldn't be happy about it. I think, with Tom Aspinall not ready, did he not accept the fight? I would have questions. But if they said, hey, we're just throwing this together, Stipe wanted to fight, Jones wanted to fight, we got this done really quick, got these guys some money, and now they're going to save our card. Now we got Jon Jones on it. Okay, I'd buy that. But how it transpired, it just doesn't feel real. I know the UFC does shit like this all the time, but this one felt particularly like just perverse. The way that everybody's just glazing over the fact, just drywalling over, right? We're going to forget about all the things that have happened. We're going to forget that Stipe hasn't fought in 3.5 years. We're going to forget that Jon Jones beat a guy who just came off a loss for the title to win the title in the first place. And we're going to forget that we have a guy waiting in the wings who's actually the UFC heavyweight champion. We're going to forget all those things. We're going to forget that Jon Jones basically handpicked this fight. We're going to just wallpaper over all of this stuff. and we're just going to present you with this as if it's Jon Jones, the best light heavyweight of all time, versus Stipe Miocic, the best heavyweight of all time, coming to you live. Like, that is not what we got. We got a bloated Jon Jones who found a guy he could beat, and Stipe Miocic who didn't want to be there. Okay, let's talk about the fight, shall we? Jones was finding success with the body with the kicks early. Obviously, that's what spelled the end and the very end. He chases him down. Stipe was trying to chase him down. That was like his offensive move, running after him, really trying to close the distance. Wasn't able to do it. Jones hits him with the trip against the cage. Lots of ground and pound for the rest of the round. On top for 3 minutes and 37 seconds. The fact that he didn't finish Miocic either shows, man, Miocic is a tough son of a bitch, or Jones has lost a step, or maybe, I don't know what it was, but striking numbers 42-6 in that first round, clearly a 10-8. Jones with the kicks to the body yet again. Stipe trying to jab. There was a bit of like low blows, and there's like eye pokes in there that weren't eye pokes. It just a whole bunch of shit. Dirt. It's a Jon Jones fight. Jones pointing his way to a win in this round. He outstruck him 20-16. It was a relatively good round for Stipe. Jones looked better. This is what it was. Last round, Miocic trying to chase him down again. Jones running away, but it feels like Miocic just doesn't want to be in there. Jones jabbing to the body, jabbing up top as well. Miocic catches him with an uppercut and a right hand, so Jones starts posting the fingers in the eyes. Classic Jon Jones shit. Jones hurts him with the right hand, and then Miocic lands a right hand in tight, spinning back kick to the body, and that's the end of it. So that back kick to Miocic's body. I've already spent too much time talking about this whole situation, so I don't want to drag it out anymore. But I did notice this when I pulled up the cards. Real quick here. First of all, Derek clearly gave the second round to Miocic. What the fuck are you doing? I love Stipe. Stipe did not win that second round, so there's one. But the big story here. So Saul D'Amato holding it down for us, getting both rounds right. The 10-8 and the 10-9, both going to Jones. That's accurate. Chris Lee, what the fuck are you doing? Do you want the guy to die? What are you doing? A 10-9 in that first round for Jones? A 10-9? It's a 10-8. There is no way you can tell me that was a 10-9. Show me a 10-9, a 10-8 round for Chris Lee. He wants the guy to lose a fucking limb or die. Jesus, what are you doing? Even when there's a definitive end, like, these referees still find a way to fuck up. Derek Clearly and Chris Lee can suck it. So glad that they were not needed. Okay. Moving on to a fight that had moments of entertainment, but overall, again, very boring. Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira. This is the shit that happens, man. You get a guy like Oliveira who can, control you on the ground, and a guy like Chandler who just doesn't want to be finished on the ground. And this is what you get. 14 minutes and 52 seconds in a 5-round fight of ground control time. That's ridiculous. Oliveira using the kicks to keep distance. Oliveira shoots a double, attacks the leg while sitting it on Chandler. And that's the rest of the round. 3 minutes and 30 seconds of control time for him. Yeah, there were some strikes thrown in there, but nothing as far as damage goes was so significant in this first round. Man, my lips are dry. The kicks at range for Oliveira are great at keeping Chandler at bay. Oliveira finding the mark with that right hand and Chandler running away. He even tripped at one point. Oliveira just wants to give him no space. Some guys, when they see the other person trip, they'll wait for him to get up. Oliveira was just right on top of him, does not want to let him get back up. Chandler digs his heels in, swings big, and Oliveira gets a takedown right into the mount, and that was the rest of this round. So 24-15 for striking numbers in favor of Oliveira, and again, 2 minutes and 48 seconds of control time. Not a lot with it, not a lot going on the ground. Yes, I could sit here and break down the jiu-jitsu stuff that's happening, but essentially it was just Chandler not wanting to submit, not wanting to give positions. Third round, Oliveira presses him to the cage, corners him, and they just stand there with their hands down at one point, and Oliveira, eventually takes him down. But Chandler's wants to stand and throw, but every time he does, Oliveira's looking for the takedown. So that's exactly what happened here in this round as well. 3 minutes and 11 seconds of control time, 27-13 for striking numbers, and it's 30-27 going into the fourth round. When Oliveira lands and gets him backed up to the cage, Chandler will land, but Oliveira isn't getting hurt, and now the takedown, and again. He takes the back. Oliveira, that's the whole round, 40-36. He took him down. He got another 3 minutes and 55 seconds of control time in this fourth round. I'm telling you, this is not a lot of fun to watch. Last round, Chandler hurts him really bad and then slips as he throws, ends up on the ground with him, and that's the fucking god dang it. Like there was we had a chance of getting some excitement here in this last round. Had a moment of it. He outstruck him 40-12. Clearly won this round. Clearly did more damage, but that's 49-46. You gotta love Chandler. He's really going for it. Charles Oliveira did nothing wrong. Neither fighter did anything wrong in this fight. It's just not pleasing to the eye. Okay, when you get a guy who wants to control you and a guy who doesn't want to be controlled, or not be controlled, the guy who doesn't want to give up the submission, this is what you get. This is what you get. Charles Oliveira should be fighting for the title. Michael Chandler, let's get that BMF belt. He did call that out, or fight Conor McGregor. We'll see what happens. I also like how he went on this diatribe, and then he goes like, Joe, got any more questions? Paul Craig versus Bo Nickal. All right. Again, not a fun one to watch. I'm sorry, guys. There's just, I understand that there's okay, real quick, just in case, if this is the first video you've ever seen of me, it's not that I don't want to see these things or that I don't want to watch it. I'm kind of getting across the fact that, like I said at the top of this, I don't think this is worth your time. Unless you're a hardcore fan, the whole experience of watching a UFC fight makes it worthwhile. The whole experience, like going over to your friend's house, going out to eat, whatever it is, getting together and then watching the fights, that's what's entertaining. But afterwards, if I'm going to sit here and tell you got to go back and watch the fight, it better have some entertaining qualities. And this one did not. Nickal trying to close the distance with his feet, land the big right hand. Nickal landing the low kicks early. Craig has very little concern for what Nickal. Oh, my bad, guys. Sorry, here's some stats. It felt like Craig he's the bigger guy. He felt no danger coming back at him. The bigger shots in this round, the big looping left are finding the mark for Nickal a couple times. He did outland him here, 16-13. Bigger shots landed for Nickal. You got to give him this round, 10-9. Second round, Craig is starting to talk to him, bait him in. Nickal's going to the body with that straight left hand, just not jabbing to the to the body, coming over the top with the right hand. Wait, what? Why did I say he's not jabbing to the body? Who wrote that? Who took these notes? Craig isn't landing much with most of his stuff. His kicks at range are fine, but he's trying to counter when Nickal lunges in, and it just doesn't work. I don't think Paul Craig is a good enough striker to lean on that being his main form of offense, is countering the movement or countering the other offense of Nickal. I just don't think he's good enough at that. Great head movement and striking at the end of the round. Some good shots from Nickal too. Should be his round. 22-21, very close for striking numbers, but Nickal did more damage. Last round, Nickal doing a great job making Craig retreat with the overhands, punching, then kicking the legs. Pretty stagnant last round. A lot less strikes thrown, or a lot less strikes landed. But Nickal, he just, again, two big left hands. Craig's on the retreat. He actually hurt him. Big left hand. He hurts him, but people are booing. Obviously, this wasn't the most entertaining fight. Nickal clearly won all three rounds. Let's see. Was there a dissenting judge? Nope. All three judges call it 10-9s. That's smart. That's fine. What's my takeaway from Paul Craig and Bo Nickal? Bo Nickal's very good. He's doing things very smart. He's not looking to go in there and be the most exciting fighter. He's looking to win. So this is what's going to happen sometimes when a guy who's really good off of his back in Paul Craig and a guy who's really good at wrestling, especially offensive wrestling, and Bo Nickal, those two things kind of cancel out. So you end up with a striking battle. And then it's like, well, what are you going to do? Bo Nickal tried to lead the dance with it. His striking is better than Paul Craig's, but not by a lot. And then they're talking about Khamzat Chimaev, like, oh, he's not ready for him. I'll tell you this. If Khamzat comes out there and doesn't get the takedown against Bo Nickal, what do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen? Do you think Bo Nickal's just going to stand and trade with him? Probably not. So, let's not just dismiss him just because he had this fight against Paul Craig. He's just fighting smart. And again, I don't think it was fun to watch. I don't think it was fun. I'm not congratulating him on an exciting performance. I'm just saying I understand where he's coming from, and the fact that he was able to get out of this fight with little to no damage and move on in his career against the guy who was ranked in the top 10 at one point at light heavyweight, at middleweight, that's pretty good. Right? I don't understand why, he's getting criticism for that. You can criticize him for the performance in the fight, but like the strategy. Viviane Araujo versus Karine Silva. This one was weird. The way people were talking, and these striking numbers don't look accurate. Silva trying to track her down, Araujo landing the right hand and circling out. I think Silva wants to grapple because when she gets close and she reaches, she's just not able to corral her. She's reaching after her, just a lot of walking forward and standing. Big right hand and a left from Silva. It appears to stagger Araujo, but it's just not enough to take that round for me. I felt like Araujo landed more, although if you look at the striking numbers here, I guess she didn't. 22-17 in favor of Silva. 22-20 for total striking numbers instead of the... I'm trying to figure out what I was watching compared to what the striking numbers say, because I had Araujo outstriking her in there. Oh, 11 leg kicks for Silva. That's what put her over the top as far as striking numbers go. I'm not saying that they aren't significant strikes. I'm just saying I didn't even take note of them because I felt like they were doing nothing. So that's the difference maker. That's why, you take those 11 away and the 3, that's a 8 strike differential. So the head strikes and the body strikes, I had Araujo doing more in this round. Second, Araujo catching her on the way in with uppercuts and right hands, just not enough to stop the pressure. Silva landing some hard shots, getting the takedown. Araujo goes armbar, but then Silva gets the darce attempt, ends up on bottom. Here's the opposite. Silva actually got outstruck here. Araujo landing 14-11. Head strikes were again relatively close, 11-8, but the control time from Silva, the fact that she went for that submission, I gave her this round. I felt like she did more. She was trying to she was closer to finishing the fight than Araujo was, and overall the damage was close enough that I gave it to Silva. Had she had done something like this in the first round where she had got some control time, done something else, you could say that, the damage was close enough that she could take it, but that's not what happened. So I have it 19-19 going to the third round. Silva wants a takedown, but Araujo gets on top, lets her up for some reason. Silva looks really tired, falling, after her foot gets caught, she's falling down in every situation. She just wants to lay down. It's horrible. I can't believe she outstruck her here again, and that's because of, again, the leg kicks. I don't know who's counting these. I'd have to go back and look at what those count as significant strikes, apparently. I'd have to go back and look at them. Significant strikes are any strike at a distance, so that is correct. 25-17 in favor of Silva, but again, like I said, the damage should go to Araujo. She did enough in this last round, and I hope they don't screw her over, is what I wrote down, and that's what happened. Oh, okay, so all 3 judges saw the first round for Silva, and the next 2 rounds for Araujo. Okay. I mean, I'd have to go back and watch it again, and I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't doing that because these fights were not worth my time. I didn't see that. All right, let's move on to Chunky Boy. Chunky. Jameis Llontop versus Mauricio Ruffy. Was this the first fight? Yes, it was. Okay, so this is the first fight on the main card. So this will be the last one that we go over here and try to go through this here. Llontop misses weight by 0.2 pounds. So even though he was given a catch weight at 165, he still couldn't make it. If you say that you're going to make a weight, which he said he was going to make 155, but then couldn't do it, so then asked for a catch weight at 165 and still couldn't do that. Like, he missed weight, Daniel Cormier is making fun of him missing weight by 17 pounds because that's essentially what happened here. Like, this is just unacceptable. I'm not saying that people don't have problems. I'm saying that if you say you can make weight, then just do it. Like, these guys are just accepting fights because they want the opportunity, but not following through on what they said they could fucking do. I don't want to sit here and go through metaphors and stuff because like I said, the video's already kind of gone long, and I want to get into this because Ruffy looked really good in the first 2 rounds. So neither guy able to find success with any significance early. A lot of kicks missing, a lot of measuring, jabs coming up short from Llontop. Llontop getting out to a lead with more offense and able to land with some jabs, chase him down for a right hand. Ruffy landing some hard low kicks, a great lead counter hook, and Ruffy landing a beautiful right hand. Llontop staggered, but right back at it. Ruffy is a lot of fun to watch. He outstruck him here 21-19. It was relatively close, and that one big punch really put him over the top. Obviously, that's a 10-9 round for him. Llontop trying to pressure in, crowd Ruffy, but he just can't hold the space and often has to back up. And then a beautiful shovel hook that look away. It's in the thumbnail image. Like staggers him. But Llontop recovers after some ground and pound, gets back up. Ruffy kind of looks dejected. Obviously, he was probably a little bit tired after that, but he just looks dejected that he didn't get the finish. And another big right hand shakes Llontop, and again Llontop back in his face. So Llontop actually outstruck him here 26-24, but Ruffy fucking destroyed him this round. It's not even close. I say you could give it a 10-8 because he's close to finishing the fight 2 times. If you don't give it a 10-8, I totally understand. Llontop wanting to clinch, I don't know if that's the best move. Maybe going to the ground could be better for him, but just the clinch is just kind of killing time. I don't know why he's doing it. Llontop is, winning the round halfway through with his pressure and activity, and Ruffy really taking this round off, just playing around. He winces to bait him in. He goes like, to bait him in at one point, and then comes over the top with a huge left hand. It was really funny. But Llontop did win this round with his volume, 45-22. Looks like being kind of chunky helps you absorb some damage, huh? Nobody gave that round of 10. That second round of 10-8. That's understandable. I get that. People want to see death. Anyway, that's it for the main card. I will be putting out the next video for the prelims here in a couple minutes. So if you're done watching this, go ahead over there if you're looking for the prelims. If not, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Thank you guys for stopping by. Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of stuff. That way the next video is coming up. If you did like this video, hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. Like I said, have an amazing week. Love you guys. Don't go back and watch this one. Peace.